What's good, YouTube? It's your boy Trell here, coming at you guys with the deck profile. I know it's been a while since you guys have seen one, but kind of excited about this one. Went to the Ridgeland, Mississippi Regionals this past weekend, got fourth place. The deck was none other than Sunavalon. It was kind of cool because I had just gotten, I had finished the deck. I finished the deck midnight of the night before the regionals, so I hadn't had a chance to test it. I don't really look at deck profiles or anything, so I just like went off card knowledge and talking to a few friends and like other people in groups about interactions and stuff. And so I made the deck on the fly and was like, just gonna wing it. But it got me fourth place. I was XO2, so I didn't lose any matches, but I did have two draws. If I won one of those, I actually would have gotten first place. But fourth place is still great. I'm still pretty excited about it. We'll get into the deck profiles. Pretty cut and standard. I'm gonna try not to make it too long. But first thing is a triple Sunseed Genius Loki. Basically, it's a normal monster, it's a vanilla, but it's a one card full combo. Most cards in your deck are one card full combos, to be honest, but this is the best one that you want to start with because most of the Sunvine cards revolve around this particular card. So you play this in ways to get to it. Again, even if you don't have this card, you can still full combo. That was not a problem. Next is one Sunseed Twin. Basically, you're going to go into a combo with this guy, because everything starts with this guy. That's going to get you to a card that gets this guy. When this one is summoned, it allows you to special the normal monster from the graveyard. And also has another effect where you can banish this from the grave and one of your links from the field. If you have two link monsters with the same name in the grave, you can special summon one of them back to the field, which is very important in some of your combos, which is really great. You never want to draw this, but even if you do, it's a brick, but it's only a pseudo brick because even if you do draw into it, you can still make plays to get it to the field to get the full value off of it. One Sunseed Shadow. Card was ass. I'm gonna be honest. Like I played it as an extender, and also because it was just another plant. Because again, most things in this deck are just one card full combo. The effect of it never came up. It was literally 100% always the first card I went to side out. Whether I was going first or second game, two or whatever, this card was sided out. It never made itself back into the deck until the end of the match because you just don't need it. You're never going to use this effect. It just don't play it. You know. One Mardell, Generator Boss of Light. Basically, when this card is summoned, you can search out a plant monster. That's how you know it searches your deck base. So anything that you don't have, you get. Of course, it's level 9, so another pseudo brick. But again, anything in our hand can hit the field. But you don't want to draw it, but you're not dead if you do. It's not a starter, obviously, so that's even worse. But one of Road Mage Laurel, which is really awesome. This card basically says that if your life points are higher than your opponents, you can special summon it to the field. And also, it says that if this card is sent to the graveyard, you gain 500 life points. So it's really it's an extender. It also helps you with the combo in your extra deck, with the card in your extra deck to combo off with that. Just play it as one of, again, another one card starter. You never want it to be a one card starter, but if you have to, you can. Rose Girl, this was the reason why I almost didn't play the deck, is because I did not own this card. A friend of mine had to drive from another city to bring me this card because I just didn't have it. But basically, Rose Girl has the effect of if a face-up play monster you control go to the graveyard, you can special summon her. Which I never did. You can, but I never did. So she can be an extender. But her other effect is once per turn, if she's in the graveyard and you control a plant monster, you can just add her back to the hand. So a lot of times I pitch her off a cost or whatever, and I just add her back because it's free. So that's the part that made it amazing. Plus, she's a tuner. Didn't come up as much in at the regionals, but it came up at a very crucial time for me. So that was perfect. But this is probably an MVP of the deck. You got to play it. I love her. I'm so thankful. Snowdrop, the Rika Fairy. Basically, she lets you tribute one plant monster to special summon herself and another plant from your hand, and you have to do that. You have to be able to fully resolve that. She also has the other effect of she can make her and all of the monsters you control become the same level. And so we turn everything to level 8 because we play a rank of the Z's in the deck. So she's really good. Don't necessarily need her. I might take her out moving forward. I'm not sure, but she was very, very strong in the regionals. And again, another card I didn't have. Thankful to have friends because she was amazing. One card that people just did not see coming. Cactus Bouncer, the original boy. Cactus Bouncer pretty much says it cannot be special summoned, but while it's on the field and you control another plant monster, neither player can special summon. So it's a Vanity's Fiend, and it's amazing because you can do your full combo without normal summoning, and then at the end of it all, just summon this. Which means they have to out your board plus out the Cactus Bouncer, and that's just a lot for them to deal with. Because sometimes they have to special summon to out, and that's not going to happen. And then sometimes they have outs for certain things, but they can't out at all. So Cactus Bouncer, it was just amazing. There's also times when I drew this card as my only plant monster in my hand, and it was still a full combo because the effect to stop special summoning only matters if you have another plant on field. Otherwise, it's just a vanilla. So love this card. Not taking it out. Moving on from there, we've got the triple Therion Lily plus the Brea. I think you guys might know the combo. If not, basically Lily can equip a plant or Therion from the graveyard to itself to special summon itself. It'll search out the field spell, will in turn search out this, and you'll use this to equip the Lily. So you have 2 negates on board. You know, it's a hard once per turn, but you don't care. You have 1 for your turn, 1 for your opponent's turn. Card's amazing. Also, when they're equipped, they gain 700 attack, and people just did not think about that. So like, Regulus becomes a 3,500 attack monster. So I was putting on so much pressure with this. And by this Lily being the plant, because she's a plant and he's a machine, by her being a plant, she was just so free. I got her every time I needed her. Like, this card is amazing. Like, I understand this is the expensive one, but this card just does so much. Thank you, Konami. Then of course, we go to the standard stuff of Brave. So triple her, 1 Griffin. I will say that this was actually probably the worst part of my deck. Brave is great. Let's not get that wrong. It's a very great thing. We know that. But sometimes you want to see plant cards more than you want to see this. And there were times when my hand was saturated with Brave stuff, even after siding it out. In fact, in finals, in the game 3, I sided out 1 of her and 1 rights. And my opening hand was still double rights, double her, and like droplets or something. So it's really bad. So I might work on that moving forward. But now there were times when I got this to the field, and of course it's just another interruption or another like board breaker. So it's still a good package. I don't think it's required, but if you have it, why not play it? But I will be working on some ratios moving forward with that. That's it for the monsters. For the spells, the best spell, Unexpected Die. Because if they stop this, and you have a starter, you don't care. If they don't stop this, you really don't care. Basically, if you control no monsters, special summon a normal monster. So it's pretty much you control no monsters, special summon the best monster in the deck, win the game. It's also not once per turn. So like I've done it to where I used it. They outed me. I had another in the hand. I played it, and I still just like went off. It was crazy. Double painful decision. Basically, you send a normal monster to the grave, level 4 or lower normal monster to the graveyard to add a normal monster with the same name to your hand. Again, just another way to get you your best monster in the deck. I played 2 because I only had 2 secrets and I didn't want to play a common. Horrible on me, but the 2 seems like it was enough. But I might go to 3 because you want to see the normal monster. Really great card. Last but not least for that was the 1-for-1 because again, the best card in the deck is a level 1 for free. Moving on from that, we have Sunvine Sowing and Sunvine Shrine. You're gonna search this with your Link 1 monster. This is a monster reborn that burns you for 1,000 damage, but it also has the effect to like you can banish from the graveyard to protect your monsters from destruction as well. And then Sunvine Shrine is a continuous spell. It's a once per turn monster reborn. They're soft once per turn, so if you have 2, you get to use 2. They're only gonna summon the normal monster from the graveyard. That's all that matters to you anyway. It also has a really cool niche effect to where on your opponent's end phase, you can send it to the graveyard to set a continuous trap card from your graveyard to your field, which is really, really good. The thing about that was like it never really came up, but it's one of those things that like if it did, it would be worth it. You'll see. We also had, of course, back to generic things of the triple rights, the Faithful Adventure, the Draco back, which is also hilarious because you can equip Draco back to your best monster in your deck and get a free bounce. You do not know how many times I would equip this to my genius and my opponent was scrambling to remove it at that point because they realized I'm about to break their board with a normal monster. Then of course the Fool's Burial, because of course that's part of the combo. Part of the package. We've also got, of course, Call by the Grave and triple droplets. I went back and forth with myself on droplets. I tell you, I didn't have a chance to test the deck at all. Like I literally didn't test it. And I was drawing test hands, and I would always draw droplets. I'm like, I don't want to draw droplets going first. I shouldn't play it. But the fact that I made droplets pushed me through a lot of games, because there were games where people like set up like boards of like their own Brave Engine plus whatever 1,000 negates, and like droplets was like I dropped somebody for 3, going second one time and just OTK'd them. Last spell in the deck was the Therion Disc Coliseum, which is probably the best spell in the deck, I would like to say. It searches out your Regulus or whatever piece you need, but also has another effect of if once per turn, if your monster will be destroyed by battle, you can just send a Therion card from your deck to the graveyard instead, which nobody thought about that until it happens. So like I go Cactus Bouncer, they try to beat over it. I just gotta see them to keep it alive. We're still where we're going. Also has another effect where if a monster on either side of the field is destroyed by battle, you can add 1 Therion monster from your graveyard to your hand. So this card is amazing. And then onto the traps, very generic. Triple Imperm because it's the best card going. It's the best 6 card going second. You know what I mean? So like, you don't want to draw like a Nib or something like that going second. So the best 6 card going second, and then 1 Sunavalon Bloom. Bloom basically says if you control a Link 4 monster on your side, a Link 4 plant on your side of the field, it's a permanent Dark Ruler no more, which is amazing. It also has another effect to where when one of your Link monsters battles, you can make it gain the attack equal to all the monsters that it points to. So you're gonna make sure your monster points to something. I had an opponent, he ran into one of my monsters. with the 3,000 attack monster, and I boosted my monster to like 76 or something like that. It was crazy. So I love that. As you guys see, I don't main deck any hand traps. You know, like no Veilers, no Bills, no Ash, things like that. Just because like even though I think they're good, they're not great, and you just don't want to draw things that could could essentially be a combo piece. As far as your extra deck, we're playing triple Sunavalon Dryas. It's your link one. Again, not a hard once per turn, so you can summon 1,000 of them in one turn to get their effects. When it's summoned, you're going to search out one of your Sunvine spells, the traps. And anytime you will take damage, you can gain that amount of damage back, and then you can special summon one Sunvine monster from your extra deck, which leads you into this guy, which is Healer. Sunvine Healer pretty much says that when it's summoned, you can target one Sunavalon monster on the field, gain life points equal to its rating times 300. So that helps in time, helps you with your combo. Really crazy. Then one Thrasher. Basically, Thrasher is the same thing as Healer, except you don't gain life points, it gains attack. So if you put like a Link 3 or Link 4 out there, it gains 800 times the Link rating of the monster that you choose. So this is just one for push for damage. I never summoned it. I never had to, but you want to have that one because there are times when you're going to need to put damage on board, and being a Link 1 is just too free to not play. So I definitely would say that you should do that. This is Sunavalon Dryades. It's Link 2. Basic twice per turn, if you take battle or effect damage, you can, gain that much life points. And what else? And you special summon one Sunvine from your extra deck. As you guys see, I'm reading it because I never summoned it. Card literally never came up. I'm pretty sure I'm going to switch it out for something else, but I had it because I was like, I feel like there may be a situation when I was going to need it. It never hit the field. If I could have decided it out, I would. Next, we had the double Aromaseraphy Jasmine. Jasmine basically says that if your life points are higher than your opponent's, this card, you can take this card, you can tribute a plant to special plant from your deck. It also has a once per turn effect. It also said that any monsters at this point can't be destroyed by battle as well, but it also has a once per turn effect, which is not a hard once per turn, that says when you gain life points, you can add a plant from your deck to your hand. So you can I would sometimes make this, and then using the Laurel, the Aroma's Laurel in the main deck, I'd summon the second one. It'll trigger Engrave to gain 500, and then they'll both trigger for me to get 2 free searches. And the cool thing about that is I can do that. If you try to draw, I've already got the 2 cards in hand that I'm going to need for full combo. So it's really cool. Sunavalon Melius. Basically, when this card is summoned, it lets you bring back the level 1 normal monster from the graveyard. It's not a hard once per turn, so I'll summon one. I'll have both of them. I just keep on link climbing with this card, which is crazy. Bingo Lancer, the Resurgent. This card says it's a quick effect. You can target one opponent, card your opponent controls. You can bounce it, or a monster your opponent controls, bounce it back to the hand. You'll take damage equal to its attack, but you don't care about that because you're bouncing it. It also has the effect of, if it's in the grave, you can banish link monsters equal to its link rating to special summon it back from the graveyard, which is really crazy. Last link is Sunavalon Drytrenchy. I never know how to say that word. The link for Sunavalon. Basically, this card on summon would search out your Sunavalon Bloom, which is cool. So you summon this monster, you get your Dark Ruler no more. Cannot be destroyed by card effects, cannot be targeted for attacks. Also has the ability to tribute off a link monster that it points to, and destroy cards up to the link rating of that monster. So a lot of times you're going to end up with looking like this. You're going to tribute this off, and then you're going to try to pop 4 cards, which actually I resolved so many times, which was amazing. And then last but not least, the one Black Rose Dragon, because I played the one Tuner. This was another of the Link 2 Sunavalon, which I'm glad I took it out because I didn't play it, and this card came up in handy because people like to set back row, and the Brave Token's level 4, and my Rose Girl's level 3, so Black Rose. And then the Teardrop, the Rika Queen, again, another card I did not have. Rank 8, so you're going to use the Snowdrop in your deck to make this. This card just says once per turn, it can just tribute a monster. Just tribute. And when it does, it'll gain 200 attack, but you don't care about that. It's just a quick effect if it has a plant. Of course, you're going to have a plant as an Xyz material, so it's just free. Side deck, real quick, very generic, very horrible. My side deck was ass. I think I drew 2 side deck cards the entire day, so I'm thankful that I didn't need them as much. Harpy's double Twin Twister. I drew a Twin Twister at a crucial time. We can't say anti-spell because you can typically play around anti-spell, but my hand was just saturated with spells, so it was a perfect one. Double Regeki, because Sorso hate it, but I never drew it. Triple Mind, just because, like I said, I made the deck at 2 o'clock in the morning. Never sided it in, definitely coming out. Triple Evenly Matched, because, you just want to break boards, right? Again, sided it maybe twice, never drew it. Double Dimensional Barrier. Drew it once, ironically enough, against a Dynamorphia opponent, and it actually came in clutch. It helped me seal the game. And then Double Shadow Imprisoning Mirror. So it's cool 'cause, like, this is one of the cards that if my opponent pops, I can get back with the Sunavalon Shrine. Sided it in a few times. Only I think I only drew it once, never used it. Only card that my side deck I actually used was the one Twin Twister and the one D Barrier. That was the deck. I played all meta. I played Mech Knights. I played Despia. I played what's I play against? I played a lot of Elders too. Played Sorso, Tenny. Like I said, I didn't lose any matches. Like I said, just got those 2 draws, unfortunate, but at the same time, it was a really fun event. So shout out to Vanian's Comics for the regional. Hopefully they'll be having more. Shout outs to my homeboy Trell, and shout out to Paul, because again, if it was not for them, I would not be playing this deck because I could not finish it. I did not have the cards, and I really wanted to play this deck. Shout out to everybody who has been playing this deck. Shout out to everybody in the Sunavalon group on Facebook, because we've been talking theories and stuff, and you guys helped me out as well. Because like I said, I haven't tested this deck at all, and to come out 4th place was amazing. But again, that is your boy Trell, Team APS. I'll be coming through some changes. Hopefully you guys will see me at another regionals. In my turn.